My name is Victoria Rashevsky, and I've been teaching English for many, many years. I haven't got my own blog. I haven't got a special page in VK or Instagram for teaching. I got a couple of nice certificates like CELTA and CAE, but this is not I'm proud of. What I'm really proud of is to represent my school, school I'm working for, which is situated in Sevastopol, and it is really experienced school, which has been practicing for over 30 years. For more than 20 years, we've been preparing for Cambridge exams, and we are pardonably proud of our candidates' results. So annually, we got around 200 candidates, and 3 the biggest Cambridge sessions in Southern Federal Region. Well, so here we are to talk about exams. So my first question is, what kind of exams do you train for? Fantastic, yes, these are from Cambridge State Line, yeah. So any other exams you're training, maybe person or state Russian exams, why not? Fantastic, yes. So, in fact, they are copied from the Cambridge one, but okay. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter what kind of exams we are training for. The main reason is, maybe not always, but the main reason is to make our students confident and happy. So, now I would like you to, in our big room, we've got 2 wings, okay? Let it be yellow wing, and I will give you. Can I give you a card? Yes? Yes? Can I give you a card? Yeah? Can I give you a card, please? Okay. And for the first row, of course. Yes, here you are. Thank you. And another win will be red. This is for you. Okay. For you. And if we can train together, 2 lines or 2 rows of the trees will be fine. So, what I want you to do with these papers, as you see, there are 2 colors, and the thing I want you to discuss together in groups or in lines, as you wish. It is not boring to prepare for exams. If you have 4, this is the yellow card, you are to agree with the statement and to give some reasons. So would you please write 1 and send it to another person next to you to write that, yes, you are for this statement. If you had the red one, you ought to be against. It doesn't matter what your opinion is, but you have to deal with that. You are against that. Yes, it is not boring to prepare for exams. You have to think why. So I'll give you just maybe, 30 seconds to deal with it, okay? So you got 3 cards, yeah? So try to write something, just some ideas. Why can it be interesting or boring, in your opinion? You have got red one, and you are against. It means that it is interesting, it is fantastic, you think it is cool. Yes, you think like that, yeah. And one more thing. Well, we are going to speak about exams, and if you see that was A1, A2, B1, yeah? So what age is it? It depends, but usually this is between 11 and 13, so they're kind of teenagers. Because it is CAT or PET exam. Do you think it is older? Oh, you mean adult exam? I'm sorry, I haven't precised yet that we are talking about for skills, exams for skills, of course, sorry. Well, anyway, try to think as teenagers do. What would they say? Not like from the proficient point of view, but what would teenagers say? How do you feel like? Okay? So, and you can send, yeah? Okay. Yes, you shouldn't write on the paper, just I will have it, yes, from you, just to see what the result is. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so we can, it's not personalized. I'm sorry. Yes, really limited. So it is repetitive, yeah. Yeah, you're just drilling and drilling, yeah? Okay. Well, what about yellows? What do you feel like? It's not boring. And you agree? Yeah. It's easy. Okay. Well structured. Wow. Highly motivated. Yeah. Okay.
Other students.
Oh, communicative. I would doubt about that. But okay. Yeah. Okay. Can I have your card? Yeah. Great. So, it's easy. I love my teacher. I love it. Well done. Okay, let's see. I got the same statement in my teens group. And what the results were? Well, the group for teenagers who were 4, they said, yes, it is motivating. It shows my progress. And there was one idea, it makes my mom happy that I have this result, yeah, that I passed this exam. Well, and against it is monotonous, repetitive, exhausting. Yeah, that's right. So, well, yeah, that was the real, it is from my practice. In fact, I'm a practitioner, yeah, she's proud of. And there was one story, one of my students' moms is calling and tell me, you know what, my son bet with his teacher at school that he would pass that exam. But he was really weak student, in fact, and he passed. Oh my God, it was fantastic. I was flying with colors. Wow. Oh, do you know this character, yeah? So what is he doing? Well, to tell the truth, I've first met this phrase in a film. Well, it wasn't as funny as this poster. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Will you have any ideas what can be there in Russian equivalent? Something like, yeah! But when I was Googling, exactly, that was my first idea for translation, but when I was Googling to find the equivalent, and there were some nice and neat statements like, делаю время потихи, so something like that. No, отработаю кони дохнут, that's the perfect thing, I think, for this one. Well, in fact, when you have to work and to deal with a lot of preparation without having time off, I've just noticed that, yes, I'm becoming a bit concentrated, too over-concentrated maybe, and a bit boring teacher, because I have to deal with this time limit, I have to deal with this exercises. Well, and sometimes even I felt myself bored. Oh my God, this listening again. Oh, but the sad thing is, and it's not a secret, of course, that our learners tend to feel really bored in exam preparation classes, though they are highly motivated, absolutely. Well, now, the question is, high grades without feeling bored in exam classes, is it possible? Without feeling bored and be concentrated and focused only on the drilling. You get and again, by the way, why not? The same. So, well, indeed it is, because by implementing a lot of exercises and fun activities, which I'm going to present today and practice with you, you can see that, yes, it is possible and it absolutely works. Well, and it doesn't matter what kind of exam you are training for. It can be state Russian exam, it can be person exam, it can be Cambridge exam. That the main categories we are practicing for and which are really assessed in exams are reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Can you tell me which of these parts do you believe are the most difficult ones? Writing, what else? Reading, exactly. So this year, it was absolutely a reading monster exam for PET. I was shocked. And everybody was shocked because, as I have already said, A1 and A2, B1, these are CAT and PET Cambridge exams. Okay, so, and they looked like, I don't know, kind of FCE. Well, reading, yes, the most difficult one. And as for reading activities, they are difficult. No, first of all, written texts, they're not really great fun to deal with, in fact. Yes, if they're in the test format, they're not really funny. And if we speak about reading activities, I would like to give just a quick nod into the purpose and the value of authentic materials. But as I usually say in my lessons, I say that just don't be fanatic of that, because in fact nobody prevents you from creating your own activities, not just authentic materials. Why wouldn't you say something like in the text format about yourself, about your classmates, about your relatives or something? Well, as for authentic materials, if we speak about that, surely it will be great beneficial for our learners to use unedited materials. Of course, they should be relevant to the age, and the most appropriate which we use in our practice, they are websites, articles, short leaflets, something sweet and short like advertisings or menus even that you can use. And they're great to practice, if we speak about Cambridge exam, for reading part number 1, when you have to deal with these very short format texts. And usually students tend to think that it is the easiest part of the test, but in fact it is not. And if we speak about these parts, we can't work only, and we can't deal only with lexical approach. Unfortunately, it doesn't work here, because we are to speak more about grammatical structures. Of course, in the first part, we are to be checked with modals, prepositions, just to feel the intonation of the text. Well, usually when they practice these, okay, I will have a bit further. What is my picture? Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, something went wrong. Well, this is the sample of test, reading test for PET exam, part number 4. So, in fact, it is quite big usually. It is boring to read, and you have to deal with something. What I usually do, I just read the text. I would like you to have a look at this, just a quick look, and tell me, who is it or what is it about? Who? Just who? Yeah, who is it about? Yeah, just give me the name. Adrian Mann. Fantastic. So the first thing that I check in this kind of text, just to make some fun, and to generate the interest in my classes, I check if it is a real person. And typically they are. So I got some information in our ubiquitous Google, which knows everything. And I have found, this is the true story, of course, it's from my practice again, and I have found the information about Adrian Mann. And if you saw the reaction of my teens, the first reaction was, is he a real person, really? Well, and moreover, this guy is really interesting. He made grand piano, it was in the Guinness Book, and he performed in TED Talks with the topic, why did he do it? And in fact, in the text, in exam text, you do not have the answer, why did he do it? But in his video, he did. So, and I used TED Talks just to generate the boring, long text. I don't know what happened with this one, but okay. And to generate the interest while we are practicing. The next thing that I usually use is to hide the title of these long, boring texts. Let's imagine that you don't see the title of the same text, and it is not the grand piano. I would cover the title and ask you to read the text very quickly just for gist, and to invent the title of the story. It focuses your students' attention on the plot and generates the interest in a way. Well, another activity that I do love, just a sec, I don't know what happened. Well, this is the activity which I call guess a public place. So you will have to think, it is again for practicing for PET and CAT exam, when you have to deal with the pictures and with some public places. And if you have a picture, you can distribute it among the classes and to ask them to think what you can and what you can't do in these places. We are practicing the modal verbs, which are really, really useful when you are training for part number 1, for example, reading. And now I would like you to think which rule, it shouldn't be serious, which rule would you invent for this public place, I mean for the Rhin Premier Hotel. So I was so impressed by the previous speaker. So my first public rule would be have fun. Yeah, so just have fun. There are 2 words that you use to make a rule, but your students understand that it can be infinitive, yes, and they can recognize them later in the text. Well, reading is fantastic, yes, but in fact, this is just the set of exercises that you will have to deal with. So matching exercises, filling in the gaps, blah, 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 but how to deal with that if you don't know anything about vocabulary and grammar? So obviously, you need to practice these categories as well. And one of my favorite, not grammar even, I think it is universal game, tic-tac-toe. You can use it at any levels. In primary schools, we use it really often to practice numbers. But when we are practicing and training for exams, you can use it in different ways. And here is an example. This is what disappeared. No, it didn't. Okay. So this is the first example of tic-tac-toe, which you can if you are lazy, for example, or tired, or you are lack of time, you can just go onto the site, ISL teachers, and you can have a lot of activities connected with tic-tac-toe. Here is the example of present continuous. Of course, you can practice different of them. Generally, in my class, I use just a simple board and a fountain pen. And teenagers are happy to stand up and go to the board and just to play using it. Or obviously, I've just had a little survey among my students. Because of the coronavirus, they had to deal with all these digital electronic things. And I asked them, and I asked my primary students, I asked my teens, would you dare prefer to have all digital things in WordWall, or would you like to have these old-style paper cards? And only 2 out of 10 said, I would like digital. I was shocked, really. Well, they are always in their mobiles. I was sure they would say, no, only never. So, in fact, I prefer to deal with that on the board. But there is another version that you can print out and distribute among the peers and to have the competition who is the first to complete this tic-tac-toe and who is the winner. This is one of the ways. There are a lot of ways I do believe you can invent yourself. Well, another thing, thank you so much. Another thing that we can deal with, if it is the higher level, for example, FCE or CAE, there are a lot of samples with idioms, phrasal verbs, collocations that you can deal with using tic-tac-toe. Could you be so kind to large categorizing, because I want our participants to, yeah. Oh, fantastic. So this one is from the same site, ESL. Well, it is categorized, but it doesn't matter. Well, the site is ESL, and this is the sample of the beginner. But in fact, you can use it for different levels. It depends on your interest. It depends on your purpose, of course. So what the idea is, on the green phone, on the right, in the right column, you can see the areas you would like to refresh, for example, or to refresh or to practice. Well, as it is the beginner, you can use nouns category, things in the classroom, animals, music, words, things you can eat, words with 3 syllables, and the opposites, for example. I would like you to pay attention to the letter line. It means that you are limiting your students to use only one letter, for example, yes, so, and to think about all these categories, just to remember. So let's try with maybe, I don't know, letter R, because it is rain. Letter R, which noun can you say with letter R? Okay, so things in the classroom that you can usually find out. Rubber, great. So animals, which are very dangerous with letter R. Right off, that's it. And music words, this is for you. Yeah, great. So the next, things you can eat with letter R. Rice, overall, healthy eater, okay. Well, words with 3 syllables. Syllabus. Ready, active. Ready, okay. Well, no, 3. Wow. Okay, great. And the opposites, I don't know what they mean, so we omit this line. Okay, so let's go on. That is for practicing, and here we are going to the next part, listening. So I'm not going to be repetitive because the previous speaker was talking a lot about using the sounds. They are in my talk as well, of course, but I will not go into repeat that. But anyway, yes, I do use sounds for gap filling. That's fantastic activity to practice exams. Well, but the main thing that I usually think when I practice listening for exams, let's imagine you practice for listening. Okay, you went into the classroom. What else can you do? What do you do with listening? Just listen. Exactly. So you have to open the book, I don't know, test booklet maybe, or you just give out the hands out maybe, yes. Press the button, let's listen. That's great. And it is decent to work with, in fact, yes, and if there is good preparation, your students will be really benefited with that. But it's not really great fun with, yeah, not really funny. So, and the thing I usually do, I personalize my materials. What does it mean? Well, it is not necessary to be the truth to tell that fact, but your students don't have to know that, yeah? So, I personalize materials by making it about me, about my relatives, about my students. I don't know, about my cat. Why not? It's okay. Well, and another thing that I use in my listening activities, this awesome site. I do believe that everybody knows, maybe or the majority of the people know in this hall, they know it. But it's really fantastic. It is updated every, I don't know, every month, I think, yes? And there are a lot of interesting pieces of materials for you to practice for your exams as well. And now, if we speak about personalizing materials, I would like you to try this activity today. So, this is the activity I have invented about me. It is a true story. And what we need to practice this listening. We need a picture of you or your friends. This is mine, obviously. You need to have a title for your students to think about. It is given in red there. And you will have to give some numbers. It depends on the level. If there is CAT exam, for example, don't overload too much numbers. They are very difficult to practice. So, but it depends on the level, in fact. It can be a true story, it can be an untrue story, doesn't matter, your students don't have to know that. Well, the main idea is, what could these numbers refer to? As I always say to my students, when you listen, the 90% of your listening is your prediction. If you are ready to predict something, it will be easier for you to understand and to have a tick in your exam boxes. Well, so here are seven numbers, okay, and the title. Could you give me any ideas about number 24,000, for example? Steps away, fantastic, wow. Yes, okay, and obviously, are you from the same club? Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, I can see that, French, that is cool, okay. The price of the tickets, okay. Okay, so red win and yellow win. Okay, great. So, steps, price of the tickets. 7 days. The duration. Vacation, the same? Yes, okay. 25. I'm 25. People I met, I'm 25. Oh my God, thank you. That's so flattering. Okay, 3 kilometers. Away from the sea, the height, okay. By the way, in the background, you can see the hotels, Phoenix Island. Well, and 33 degrees. What? Above the zero. In the room, fantastic. Nobody said about alcohol. Okay, so 2017, yeah. Before coronavirus, the era before coronavirus, in fact, yes. 9 hours slept, flight. Okay, so now, sorry? Left. Great. Well, in fact, you had the predictions and you are ready to predict something. And here is my story. The final question, which is crucial. Why the title is Fighting with Depression in Hainan? Your reasons. 33 degrees, that was depressive. The price of the ticket was really high. Okay, now you are going to have the crown of the clairvoyant, of the magic person who knows everything. And the right answers are, I was fighting with my depression in Hainan, China in 2017 because I had just split up with my boyfriend. The price of the tickets to and fro, it was all-inclusive, was extremely low. It was 24,000 rubles. For 7 days. And of course, my friend was really happy to supervise me, but sorry. But for her, this trip wasn't really happy because she had a stomachache or something, so she didn't like Chinese people. Well, but I really glad for her. Yeah, you were right, 3 kilometers. There were 3 kilometers from the luxurious hotel to the beach, but it didn't prevent me from going to the beach 3 times a day because the view was amazing. And yeah, 33 degrees, but in the shadow it was, yeah. And when you get out of the airport, you felt yourself like in the sauna, and my straight hair became curly immediately. It was fantastic. I wanted to stay there forever. Well, it was in 2017. Yes, you're right. And the flight from Yekaterinburg to Hainan was 9 hours then. I'm so sad looking at that because now China is locked. Well, great. That is the great activity that generates the interest to you as a teacher because what we say about relationship between the teachers and the students, it is really important to be involved and involve your students, of course, to generate the interest, and the result will be fantastic after that. Well, the next thing that I want to speak is writing, and when we started, there were 2 areas you mentioned, but the first was writing, which is really difficult to deal with. Yes, and you're absolutely right. Absolutely. It is not easy. And it is boring because you have to deal with it on your own in your exam. Nobody is going to help you. It is not a communicative kind of activity. And what I usually use to make it fun, I try to have a collaborative kind of task when you are to work with all the group, always 2 groups, if you have 10 students, for example. For this activity, I would highly recommend this site, which is called Literary Ideas. These guys, they've prepared some samples, and they are really good to be used in training story writing. Well, this is always funny when my student from another, I don't know, well, comes and say, my teacher said to write a story, but he didn't say how. Okay, let's train it. Well, and they have to deal with that. And this is the activity that we can use. Of course, I have chosen this picture because of the recent Olympiad. Well, but the story is much, much funnier. Would you be so kind to make it bigger? I mean, the plot of the picture. Okay, so here is the picture, and on this side you can find the pictures and the statements under them. How we deal with that? This is just a quick start, yes? So the most difficult for teens to start writing, what to think about. Here is the very good start. They have to continue. And while the first student wrote 1 sentence, he has to send to his partner in a group. It can be like the speed, like writing story if you wish, or alternatively you can estimate it by using more vocabulary or more pet-related vocabulary, etc. Well, and okay, we need the time. And another thing, which is my favorite, and this is how I say, how to write the story, like that, okay, let's try it. Well, the longest sentence activity that I want you to try today, and it practices all useful things that we are to train while we are training for writing part of the exam. While they're doing this task, they are forced to use all these linkers, subordinate sentences, appropriate collocation, etc. Would you be so kind to follow this link, please? Okay. If it follows. If it doesn't, I will give you something. Can you see, Julia? But we can't. Wait, that will be tricky. That will be tricky a bit. So now, while we are struggling with some issues, I would tell you that to kill two birds with one stone, I usually use a vocabulary list, Cambridge Pet vocabulary list, and to use the words into the word wall for students to choose one word, for example, 15 words. No, it's not possible. If it isn't, I will give you. Well, what we need for this activity is just a pen and a paper. When I'm doing this activity in class, in groups, I ask two groups to have one secretary, a group to write it. Because it's obviously can be used for speaking activity as well, but the main idea, yeah, great, woohoo. So, but the main, thank you so much. But the main idea is to practice writing, so they need to write. Well, I'd like you to have a paper and, I don't know, a kind of the pen, yeah, or something. And we are fighting as yellow and red. And you will have to help me, please. Can you press the start, please? Thank you. Well, we have got 15 words. They are all from PET vocabulary list. To make it easier for students to remember, you can see that there is a picture for them just to remember the visual and the word. And let's start with you. Could you please choose the number? Okay, 8. Could you please press number 8? So you will have to start with this word, the beginning of the story. In fact, it is a long sentence. Don't forget that there is another person who's going to continue. It is not a snowball story. It is one sentence. So you will have to start, okay?
It's my cheapest sweater.
It's my cheapest sweater. This is, yes, you are, don't worry, you are not at the lesson. So please, could you write, please? Well, and we will, we're short of time. What time should I finish? I'm sorry. In 10 minutes, yeah? 12 minutes, okay, great. So we will share, okay? Your group will take another number now, okay? Can you press number 8 again? And which number would you choose? 15, okay, great. You have got an accommodation. Okay, you should have two different stories. Yes, two different stories. Yes, your group has the first sentence, which, yeah, your colleague started, cheap, and your group will have accommodation. This is the beginning of your story.
I booked accommodation in Yaroslavl.
Super, okay, I bought accommodation in Yaroslavl. Now, let's go back. Alexei, would you go on your sentence, please? The first part was...
Do I need to choose a number again, or...?
No, you should choose a number first, yes.
Let it be number 6. It's my sweater that I bought by mistake.
That I bought by mistake. Stop here. Okay, great. Now, your choice, please. Number 10. Okay. Wow. Okay, who can go on?
I booked accommodation in Yaroslavl and it was challenging.
It was challenging. And it was challenging. Okay, great. So, now, your turn. Could you go on? 12. Okay, great. So, let's go on speaking about the sweater.
Because it was bought by mistake.
Near the booking office.
Oh, near. Okay, not in the booking office. Well, that would be fine. Okay. One. Great. Let's do it. Oh, that's his magic.
Somehow logical, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Can you?
Accommodation in Yugoslavia was challenging when I arrived.
Yeah, great. So let's go on. Well, could you choose the number, please? Okay. Fantastic. Okay, let's go on.
It was my cheapest sweater that I bought by mistake near the booking office. Complicated. Okay, it was complicated. Yeah, okay, your version, I like it. It was complicated to find it. Oh, wait. I see.
This is one sentence. Yes, this is the tricky thing. Okay, let's go on with accommodation. 7. Wow, super. Who's going to continue? Yeah, you, please.
I booked an accommodation in Yugoslavia and it was challenging when I arrived because of my
Bad behavior.
Okay, let's keep it in secret. What kind of behavior? Great. So let's go on. Okay, can you go on?
Please.
9. Great. Okay.
Near the booking office, and then I got stuck in an elevator.
Wow, great stuff.
Because you got stuck.
Which was complicated because I got stuck in an elevator.
Fantastic, because we can use. Okay, let's go on with your win.
14. I booked an awesome accommodation in Yugoslavia and it was challenging when I arrived because of my bad behavior.
You can't change the position of the word. That is the trick. No.
Wow, yeah, in this awesome city. Fantastic, great. Let's go on. And what is your choice? 13, great. Wow, that's the logical thing.
That I bought by mistake near the booking office, which was complicated because I got stuck in an elevator where people wearing casual clothes.
Okay, so yes, and should we? No, not yet. Okay, what is your choice? 11. Let's try 11. Elbow. Julia, can I ask you to move back for people to see all the pictures? Okay.
Elbow.
Not yet. I think. I booked an accommodation in Yugoslavia and it was challenging when I arrived because of my bad behavior in the awesome city injured my elbow.
Woo! Wow, fantastic. Well, we have 2 more, so let's get one with you. Okay.
Okay, number 3. Let it be. Okay, so it was my cheapest sweater, which I bought by mistake near the booking office, which was really complicated because I got stuck in the elevator where people were wearing casual clothes and with no local currency. Yeah.
And let's finish the battle, please. So the last one, yeah? The last 7. Okay? The last one, the last number. Could you try? 2. Okay, 2. Bitter.
Okay, could you try?
Fantastic. Let's begin.
I've booked an accommodation in Yaroslavl. It was challenging when I arrived because of my behavior in this awesome city. Because I injured my elbow by bitter mistake.
Woo! Applaud yourself. That was fantastic. Okay, now, how can we deal with that? I mean, you have written, yes. In fact, there shouldn't be 7, but 15 words in one sentence, and I've just changed it a bit because of the lack of time. Well, this is the sample example how we deal with that. It is not your story, but it is the sample of my group. And here we can work with a lot of things, yes? So they had something, they have all 15 words, and I use the color codes as well, and we can highlight the words with orange and conjunctions, which is extremely important when you are writing. What can we do with that? We can improve it. We can change conjunctions. We can make it better. We can have another story, anything. Well, anyway, that's a great activity. I really adore and highly recommend you to practice writing. So, another thing is just the assessment idea, and was really surprised when my students were happy to know all these criteria and they were checking their partners' emails and stories using these criteria. And, in the nutshell, well, it doesn't matter what kind of lesson you have and what kind of lesson you enjoy. The most important is just to have fun and reduce the stress of the exam preparation, because your students will highly appreciate that, truly, believe me. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I would like you to see. Thank you.